This video is a part of a series of materials developed for experts that are assessing final reports under the Strategic Partnerships action of the Erasmus Plus programme. The video will cover only the basics and should normally be complemented by a dedicated training or briefing session. At the end of this video, experts will know why the assessment is taking place and what their role is in this process. They will be familiar with the assessment criteria and will be able to distinguish between those elements that need to be assessed and those which do not. Final report assessment takes place at the end of a strategic partnership project and allows an informed judgment to be made on project delivery and overall achievement. During assessment, it is important to compare final activities and outputs against those originally planned, keeping in mind that strategic partnerships can be both process-orientated, targeting the exchange of best practice, and product-orientated, targeting the development of innovative products and services. Assessment also provides an opportunity for Erasmus Plus national agencies to identify partnerships, products and practices that are particularly innovative or of notably high quality, which can then be promoted in the future. Finally, assessment also allows the final grant contribution to be calculated, a process led by the national agencies, yet requiring the input of expert assessors relating to specific project activities and outputs. The focus of this video is on final report assessment, which takes place at the end of a strategic partnership. Not all aspects of the project are equally considered at this final assessment stage. For example, whilst there are some very important elements that must be considered during final report assessment, there are also aspects of the project for which the final judgment has already been made at an earlier stage. We could consider this in the form of a traffic light, for which elements considered as green are extremely important to consider at the project end, and include the novelty and innovation of products and results, learning recognition, and the overall level of project achievement, as well as management efforts and the role and contribution of partners. Elements considered as orange are fairly important to consider at the project end and include the type and depth of target group and beneficiary involvement, the added value of international partners, and the contribution of the project to the selected programme priorities. Elements considered as red do not need to be considered at the project end, with decisions already taken at an earlier stage. Examples here include the relevance of the targeted actions and the capacity of partners and staff. During final report assessment, there are 4 criteria against which judgments must be made. Under relevance, the focus should be on whether the original objectives were met and how this was built or strengthened capacity within the partner institutions. Under project design, the focus is on specific activities and outputs, confirming whether all were achieved and providing a perspective on the novelty, value, and overall quality of delivery. Under project team, the focus is on the quality and effectiveness of partner collaboration, as well as on the contributions made by individual partners. Finally, under impact and dissemination, there is a dual focus. It is important to consider, firstly, whether there is any real evidence of positive impact and change for the participating institutions and in relation to specific beneficiary audiences. And secondly, how well the partnership managed to market and promote the goals, successes and achievements of the project. Whilst the approach to assessment can differ from expert to expert, there are certain aspects of the assessment process that must be considered by all. For example, in all cases, it is important to base your decision on the commitments made within the original project application. Any changes to this should not be significant and should be clearly explained at the project end. Final reports will often be accompanied by lots of materials, yet there is only limited time available for review, reflection and judgment, with a need to focus more on the innovation and added value that has been delivered, and on the contribution made to existing systems and landscapes. Having formed a decision, experts should prepare comments under each of the 4 assessment criteria, addressing each of the listed sub-criteria and making sure that a final judgment is provided in each case. Finally, a score must be awarded under each of the 4 criteria, ensuring scores and comments are fully consistent. Remember that a negative score can also mean grant reductions in some cases. In summary, assessors help national agencies to decide on the value of the original investment, on the one hand highlighting successes and areas of good practice, and on the other hand identifying projects for which delivery did not go as planned.